player. They actually won 2 of the 3 3v3s that they played in this best of 5, winning the first map 2-0 and the 5th one 3-2 as well. So close games all round. Version 1 just about eking out Team Liquid, and that's not an easy thing to do. Team Liquid, world's semi-finalists. Version 1, can they defeat them twice?
Liquid, world semi-finalists, and Version 1, world's viewers. Ultimately,
they might not have watched.
They might not have watched. It's very true. They weren't there. They've not been going to these RLCS lands. They haven't been qualifying for them. Whereas Liquid have made every single one, and I've got top 8 minimum at every single one that they have ever attended.
Well, let's see Version 1 prove Team Liquid wrong. It's already been a bit of a back and forth start between the two teams as Beast Mode takes a touch. A huge demo flies in. I'm sure we'll see that plenty of times with Atto on the pitch. And Oski is able to use that. Here goes Atto. Oh,
there he goes.
I cannot wait. Honestly, I've just realized this. It's Atto versus Com.
Oh, yeah.
Which one of these two gets more demos?
There's going to be car parts strewn across the entire pitch.
Flying everywhere.
Just all over the place. And I'm excited to see just who is going to be taking home one of those Exterminator medals. It's been very exciting. First minute, though, currently gone without any incident. Chronic with this brand new C on the end of his name. Yeah, a little style choice. He tweeted about it. He X'd about it the other day.
He tweeted about it. I actually told production earlier, I was like, there might be a mistake on his name. I hadn't seen the tweet, so I was wrong, man. My bad at production.
Silly Billy. But now a minute 30 gone, still no incident. Atto immediately hunting, removes Daniel whilst his team are defending for their lives, sending 2-2 that ball as well in the back corner. Atto is going to be returning with a 100 boost taken, takes it over to our Beast Mode. Beast Mode changes trajectory, ends up bumping Atto away from the ball. Pretty comfortable defense so far from both sides.
Yeah, they're looking comfortable right now, both teams, and this is what Version 1 need, I feel, to just slowly move their way into this series. Don't want to start too explosively, apart from Com. Here is Atto trying to cause an explosion in the Version 1 goal. Not going to happen on this occasion. Chronic can retreat back, but Com's closing him down quickly. That's what we need to see from Com. I feel like he's at his best when he is the first man forward for Version 1. Making sure he's involved in the play as possible. There was a miss there on the left wing. Also gets the angle, but it's saved.
Oh my word. Those angles, I swear, are becoming so much more prevalent.
Yeah.
In this competition specifically, we've seen so many. Oski up for one, the second. He's going to be blocked out by the defender. He's going to be bumping back down to ground with not a goal to show for it. Bump down again is a Chronic. Ball falling all the way into that back corner for Oski. Side will redirect, is maybe on the menu. One pass in, gets the reset, in fact. Nothing to come from it still. Com removes Atto. That's going to be the first demolition between those two particular demolishers.
Yeah, first of many, I am certain. Here is Atto. He'll take a touch, try and G in some Version 1 players. Beast Mode, though, for his worth, shows some patience. Is it going to backfire, though? Daniel's trying to get the save, so are the rest of his team. Oski comes in, but he can't get that final touch.
Okay, that looked very, very dead on. I'm intrigued to see just how large Oscar managed to swipe it away from the net. A Chronic faking low. He has 0 boost, so he then goes for Daniel. Love the idea, but the execution not quite there on that chance. 2 minutes now remaining.
Team Liquid
midfield sees the ball fall to just a Chronic.
Starting to steal the boost, though, at Team Liquid. And it's just managing to let them move their way into Version 1 territory at will as it currently stands. As Atto takes a touch, we see some shenanigans from demo attempters there off the ball.
Oh, there's one.
There's another one, yep. Oski up against Daniel. Daniel has to win this challenge well, and he does. And he can go forward. A counter-attack, a rare foray forward for Version 1. The team in green penned back somewhat at the moment. But still 0-0 to show for us. They'll be taking this right now. Won't be too disappointed because every goal could be the winner in Game 1.
Minute 20 now, ticking down. Atto going central. Chronic's going to be there with Beast Mode. Beast Mode's been winning that race. Actually just gets rid of the possession of the ball. Now it falls back down towards Oski. 70 boost. He goes up against Daniel. That's going central. Not quite on target, nor slow enough for Chronic to be able to catch up. 1 minute now. 50 boost for Chronic with the reset. Sees only Daniel. Goes low. The double reset was on the cards. Atto actually gets a fantastic touch, but nothing to show for it yet again. The mechanics are there for Liquid, but they can't quite string them together for a goal.
Remember, the loser of this one walks away with $50,000 for a 9th to 12th place finish. Whereas the winner, they are the final qualifiers in the final 8, and it's looking like it could be V1.
44 seconds. Com receiving the pass from Daniel with a lovely reset. Chronic has to just wait, see what happens, and Com with a relative tap-in. 1-0. Version 1 lighting up the arena in purple.
Speaking of the playoffs, it will be a battle against Oxygen for the winner, so a very winnable quarterfinal for either of these two teams as Beast Mode tries to double Version 1's lead and double their grasp on the first game. Atto almost gets the double tap as well. There, it's almost into the corner. Beast Mode is able to get it away. 30 seconds now, we will see the full liquid press.
I think that wanted a pass to Oski, but Oski just ends up rotating out, unfortunately for him. Atto up higher, Chronic with a demo. He can now rush this. He's got the reset, he's got it on target, he's got the dunk, but Daniel masterfully takes it to the corner. Oski relieves that ball over towards Com, and the final 10 seconds is going to be huge for Liquid.
A Chronic has to make something happen. He has to make it happen now, but Beast Mode ain't letting him. Oski's turn. Another demo off the ball to the ceiling. It could be the 0-second equalizer. The Musty, is it an effective pass? It could be. A Chronic can't get it on target. Atto tries to get it to his team. Unable to. Oski keeps it alive to the ceiling there. Atto can only send it backwards. It's no longer there. Com, huge fist bumps. 1-0 v1.
I want to call you up on something, Cole, that you said that I fundamentally disagree with you about.
Again.
And I didn't do it professionally in the middle of that game.
Thrice.
You said that the quarterfinals was very winnable for either of these teams versus Oxygen. Oxygen is a horrendously hard team for either of these teams to face, considering their form in Gamers8 specifically.
All right, well, these two teams are battling to finish 8th then. That's a much better
Thank you very much. Way better storyline. No, but you're right, talking about, going through to the top 8. You've got the fact that you've got 50 grand right now. Cool, happy days, right? You win this, you get another 45 grand. You near enough double it.
It's huge.
It's madness. It's crazy. And I wonder, Cole, do we see what we prophesized at the start? It's a Liquid loss, and so therefore our thought was potentially a 1v1 because of that.
Yeah, we will see. Will version 1, have to face a 1v1 against Team Liquid? Team Liquid, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I love these bits where you're just waiting to see what the players are going to decide. The best thing about this crew battles format is these decision-making moments, because it doesn't just say, it's not just about being played on paper of, I'm better at 1v1, we'll take it. It's right now, I can take this opponent.
I think seeing Daniel as well lose earlier, Atto must feel confident.
Yeah, he'd have been watching Ruas, and I'm sure he would have been picking apart what was working for him, but it will be 2v2, Oski and Atto.
The mode that version 1 beat them in last time. Interesting for Liquid to go for this, but you've got to think that the teams are definitely talking about this, making sure that they are feeling confident too. Maybe saving the 1v1 for a little bit later, or just being very confident in the 2v2. Interesting regardless. Gosh, I love this format.
Potentially a question that we can ask Hercules to get to one of these players of, would you ever think forward, or is it always about the next game? I imagine you don't want to do that, because if you then lose it and the threes, you think, darn, probably should have taken the 1v1 then. Anyway, we are in the 2v2.
Mental battle.
Yes.
30 seconds gone. Decent pressure starting off for version 1. Atto with 40 boots, going to try and flick it over the top of Daniel, isn't quite able to. And Beast Mode, an awkward touch, does beat out 1. And now Atto challenges again versus Daniel. It's going to be bouncing very central. That's a lovely demo and no goal. What happened in that smoke screen, I question thee?
We will never, ever know until now. So Atto avoided it completely. Oski, he just gets the demo, and Atto is like, cool. I think I'll take that one then. I'll cause some explosions as I score to put Team Liquid 1-0 up and confirm their decision to do 2v2 was so far a wise one.
Thus far, yeah. First minute elapsed in Team Liquid with that lead. I wonder how much these teams do consider what the previous result was. And also the form of the players they're coming up against. They must do, right? Because we talk about it all the time, but I'm not a coach.
Yeah, I imagine it's more to do with how the individuals on their side are feeling. Because all these guys...
Play to their strengths rather than their opponent's weaknesses.
Exactly.
Oh, what a bum. Oh, that is pure strength. There's nothing weak about that from Large Oscar.
Here he goes, the bodyguard clearing the path for Atto. Atto, normally the player who likes going for these bumps and demos himself. I'm sure won't mind being the recipient every now and then. And the 2v2 so far looking not just clean for Team Liquid, but like a bit of a step up right now, because the 2 goals that they've scored, not been from counter-attacks, not been from solo wonder plays, it's been from better playing, but a kickoff goal for version 1 will change that straight off the bat.
Outstanding bump as well, that kickoff going perfectly. Daniel winning it rather to the right. Beast Mode then bumping and being in position to take the shot. You very rarely see that, and version 1 have executed to perfection.
Version 1 getting right back into this 2v2. You can, of course, have huge swings in this game mode and 1v1, so even if you see a team go 3 or even 4 goals behind, not to worry just yet, especially when you have this player on your team. Daniel, he goes to the ceiling, it's just about met by Oski. Beast Mode almost was able to take some time on the ball, but Atto can just wait, try and sucker in a couple more version 1 players. Oski's hovering and waiting, not wanting to overcommit on anything, but what it does do is allow Daniel in. He tries something a little bit fancy, a bit of style to that finish. Not quite a goal, but version 1 very much on the attack again. The ascendancy isn't quite claimed, though. It stays at 2-1.
Lovely block from Atto to make sure this counter-attack can begin. Instead, though, it falls back down towards Daniel. Oski now 1v1 with the bump. He's going to be there for the reception, but no! Beast mode is there permanently.
A double save. It might even lead to a goal down the other end. Oski has to get this read correct, and he is able to. So now he can take it away. Oski takes one more touch up against Daniel, but he's accidentally psychoed it towards his own goal. He will not be enjoying that one. Atto loses the challenge. Who's arriving next? It's going to be Oski, and he's able to sweep up at least.
I'm excited to watch that save again in our save of the day, because that was unbelievable. I love seeing those moments where a player, you're like, okay, that's going in, finally. But instead now it falls to beast mode on the offense. Oski can intercept nicely. Daniel up for the double. Atto thinks it's in. He flings himself at that ball. Low on boost, could not get high enough. Version 1 draw themselves level.
The crowd showing their support for version 1 as well, but you like to see after, of course, when they face Rule 1, the crowd were against them, understandably, as version 1 equalise here in game number 2. And now the question marks over Team Liquid's 2v2 decision. Start to dance around them again, unless they can score from this kickoff. Yes, they can.
Right, those sidewall redirects are looking scary from any team, but when you see it coming from Liquid, they've been practicing them. Now, that's a redirect, more of just your standard shot bottom corner, but you still see them so quickly reading it from that side wall. We've seen every player on Liquid go for it. That really feels like a new meta, using those sidewalls to make sure that you can pass it to yourself central.
Be another good kickoff here from version 1, who suddenly find themselves in the chase
again.
Not afraid to do that. They have the pace to chase anything. Beast mode, gonna take control of the ball, put it into the center. But Atto was just waiting. Oski, does he clear the path for him? I was actually about to call him Oxy there. So many times have we seen that big old shirt with the typo on it. It's starting to affect my register.
I got given one. Me and Oski are kind of close like that. So.
Yeah, I'm very jealous of that, and you know that. Why are you making me jealous live?
Funny. Chance now. Daniel going up high. Challenges versus Atto. The final 2 minutes now with Liquid. 1 goal lead. Sent long by Oski. Finds Atto on the right. Daniel with 100 boost. He jumps early. Sees that Beast Mode's in there. It's not really a big issue. But Beast Mode missing. That will be a very large issue indeed.
Here is a very large Oscar as well. He gets the boom from the corner. Atto's underneath, but Beast Mode will be too quick for that one. Team Liquid just trying to keep version 1 away right now. By all means necessary, the offensive prowess of version 1 certainly starting to warm up after conceding those 2 early goals. Daniel cuts in, almost gets it over the top of Oski. Right now they're struggling to find each other. Beast Mode does find Daniel, but the next touch wasn't great. However, the bump was. Now Beast Mode could up the pace somewhat. Atto's in front of the ball. Oski's being chased, but what he's doing is keeping 2 version 1 players busy, allowing Atto can come forward and try and get this dunk, but it won't lead to a goal.
Low on boost, and Oski couldn't quite get that second. You see Com staring at his opponent's monitors, whereas Chronic, he's locked in free play. He is not bothered. Atto up for 1, is going to try and get that second bump. Isn't able to. 50 seconds now. Ticking down ever so tantalizingly for version 1. This will bring us back to a 3v3, whether it's going to be at a draw or with a version 1 series point.
Let's see, there's more than enough time for an equalizer and a couple of goals on top of it as well. Oski shoots, it's leading into the top corner. Daniel places it delicately to the side. The boost is given to him by his teammate, Beast Mode. He's watching on from behind. He's got the boost to follow up if he needs to. He might not. Oh, but he just got the touch too vertical. It had no angle for Beast Mode to follow, and Oski could take it away.
It would have been a beauty, but it just stays as a theory. Beast Mode up for 1. That second blocked out away by Oski. Daniel up with more than enough boost. Gets the reset. It's fully open. Oski can't save. Daniel at the death. Gets version 1 the tie.
All about that first touch, though. How do you pre-flip into that one and still follow enough to get the mid-air challenge, land, turn, shoot, score? Brilliant.
Under 10 seconds remaining, Cole. You said there was enough time for a couple in regulation. Let's see if that happens. Atto towards that right-hand wall with 100 boost. A little bit of danger here. Atto up. We're going to see challenge versus Beast Mode. Nothing to come from it too early on, but Daniel wants to keep it up. Oski wants to do the exact same. Unfortunately for him, gravity is on V1's side. Overtime.
Next goal wins, and it is of huge importance to this series and within this competition. Loser goes out.
Interestingly, we saw a 2v2 in game number 2 with Liquid versus V1 previously, and it was won by version 1 in the 2v2.
Oski's going to turn around on this one. Daniel can't take it. There's a demo there. This should be the opportunity, but Daniel, he did what had to be done, but Oski's shot was quite weak.
30 seconds gone, and Liquid want to make sure that they are shedding blood here on the sands. Goes up high, trying to go for that pinch. It's actually successful somehow. Beast Mode works his way back. Daniel taking his time, sends it high. Beast Mode with a monstrous pre-jump. Atto reads it somehow again. Oski with a gigantic miss. Atto's going to have to try and clean that one up.
Oski's getting a little bit shaky. He has to refresh himself, but he can't do it yet because Daniel has the ball. It's met by Atto. Oski happy to stay below. Just wait for a chance. How he'd love an easy finish. Dodges to the side. This ball's going to bounce into the middle. Beast Mode's going to take it. Is Oski going to dive in? No, the edge will bump. It's going to be the moment, but it's self-saved until Daniel arrives. Version 1, take the second game.
That self-save looked terrifying from B-Mode until you then just know that Daniel's there to tap it in. Thank gosh he was there to do so, and we saw Beast Mode pop off in his camera.
And after a chance miss, and after a whiff in defense, how Oski would love to turn back the sands of time on salty shores, but he's not able to do so. And instead he has to look as his opponents head into the distance. 2 games to the good. Reverse sweep needed.
3v3, our next game mode. And version 1 so far having the better of Team Liquid in them. Team Liquid only winning 1 of the 4 rather they have played. This double save was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I love to see that.
Team Liquid were well on top at that point as well, you know, 3-1. Of course, there's loads of time in a 2v2, but it still becomes a very different game. Team Liquid get even more belief. And look at that from Daniel. The turn, the instant shot, the recovery skill. Daniel, who has been under so much criticism as well after that performance against Riyadh, and rightly so, don't get me wrong, to come in and put in a performance like that. And look what it means to the 3 of them.
Screaming on our stage, making sure that they are completely known that they are here. Yes, they didn't go to Worlds. Yes, they have failed on multiple points to make majors. But on one of the biggest prize pools of the year, we are seeing version 1 show up against one of the greatest teams that Europe has to offer. Liquid, they need to turn it on soon, otherwise a sweep is in their future.
As for version 1, the entire narrative has been flipped against them ever since their failure to qualify for the Spring Major. Now, they can rewrite history for themselves here on Forbidden Temple. A 3v3. If they can take it here, they take the series, but they'll have to come back from a goal behind.
What a naughty little squeeze this ended up being. Atto somehow getting it right below the crossbar, gets a little bit of help on from Beast Mode, pinches its way in, but in 9 seconds, Liquid, they may well have struck Liquid gold.
Yeah, the exact start they wanted after an incredibly disappointing end to the 2v2 there. They went 2-0 up in it as well. And we were waxing lyrical about their decision to play 2s instead of 1s. Now they will have to play the 1s if they can even get to that point. To do that, they'll have to see another best of 3, sorry, another 3v3 away to get back into this series as Com goes to the sky as well. He's hit it cleanly, calling Beast Mode to attention. Oski takes out another one. It's definitely Team Liquid that are winning the physical game at the moment.
Yeah, not just in the demos either, and a lot of these bumps, a lot of the physical plays all throughout the pitch, making sure that no keeper is ever comfortable, no attacker is ever able to shoot with their best foot. And yet version 1, despite that physicality, have still found themselves on top.
This one's coming in now. Come on, lovely brilliance from Com. That is what he does best. They're not quite at the mechanics of some of his teammates and opponents, but those decisions in the center, playing the intelligent game, playing the game that frustrates his opponents. But his team's still behind as Acronic sends it forward into the corner. Com wheels round the ball and tries to get on it. I said he didn't quite have the mechanics, but he's still more than capable of doing some damage from here. He gets the flip reset over the top, tees up Daniel. That one's going to the crossbar. Acronic and Oski, then the 2 of them just knock the ball to each other on the goal line. It's dangerous. Oski's clearing a path for Atto. Not quite happening when you've got 3 version 1 players buzzing around.
They were surrounding him like algae. He couldn't make his way out, and the ball falls back into possession of version 1. Now Atto finds himself on that left-hand side. Pretty low on boost, though. The shot coming in from Acronic. Actually, the backflip away. But the double-headed defense from version 1 finds itself successfully defending Liquid yet again. Atto tackles away from Beast Mode, make sure that shot will not be going their way, and Com rushes back to stop the P-roller.
Oh, this one, the pinch could be going into the center, it is. But unfortunately, it was just in front of Atto, behind Atto, who'd ventured too far forward. So instead he has to go all the way back, get another pinch. Team Liquid using these walls, as you identified earlier, Stumpy. Atto going for a bump, trying to swipe away at the version 1 shaped algae, but they avoid him. The advances don't quite connect. This time they might. Chronic, he shoots. Beast Mode should be able to save, but it's a simple shot from Liquid.
A simple shot as well as the bumps not quite connecting. However, it still meant that Beast Mode had to just slow it down a little bit. Backboard sees a Chronic. Tap it away. Oski's now going to work his way out alongside a Chronic. On tap round, Atto is going to be the recipient of said ball. My word, version 1 are swarming. They're not playing the best positions I've ever seen from them, but it's working so far to keep it as just a 1-0. I just don't see them scoring for the foreseeable couple of minutes. Especially when you've got Atto on that ball, goes low with it, fakes it out. A little bit of brilliance from that big man Belgian.
Just when I was about to say that Team Liquid aren't being particularly creative, and that's because version 1 are somewhat stifling them. Along comes Atto, a little bit of fakery, and suddenly his team are 2-0 to the good. And looking like the Team Liquid that we know and love. Version 1 came back from 2 goals behind in the game before, but that was 2v2. It's so much easier to make these comebacks. That was almost 3, though. Daniel was the coolest man in the room.
That was open. It was also fully open net. Atto ends up flicking it. Just a little bit too much beans on it. Reduce the beans. Less beans next time, big man.
Fewer beans is the call from the coach. It's flicked on there by Oski. Atto's chasing it. How beanie is it? Oh, he's missed it completely instead. A Chronic
He leaves it.
Is the player that chases it up. This one is just going to be taken away by Daniel, but right now, Stumpy, every time version 1 clear, there's just another Team Liquid player.
Beast Mode tapping one on. A lovely position. Gets himself on the ceiling, too. Daniel with a double tap. Com's going to be up the man to that ball as well, but Chronic can clear it away towards the side. Final 90 seconds. We have entered. Atto is high. 30 boost. Ooh. Not enough to dunk on Daniel.
Com flicks it along. Chronic is just going to wait as well. No rushing things from Team Liquid. This is what they've learned throughout the season. Once upon a time in this situation, they'd still be chucking 3 players at the ball, but now they know to spread out, steal some seconds, take their time. Eventually the chances will come as the opponents stretch themselves. Oski, he gets the double tap, but Beast Mode can clear it. A Chronic, though, coming from the deep. He's done that time and time again. And Atto, who else, is going for more bumps?
Oski up to block out yet another pass. The midfield is utterly owned by Team Liquid. Chronic's there yet again. The lights in the arena, shiny and green. Perhaps at version 1, those children looked very confused.
Yeah, I mean, they were thinking, like, I mean, I've seen many sports fans of all sorts, you know, do that sort of reaction, like, what's going on? What's he doing? What's he doing? They're thinking the same thing right there. But what's happening is that version 1 are being outplayed here in Game 3 by Team Liquid. It's the first time that's really happened throughout an entire game. As Chronic almost gets around, it's got the flip reset. Atto's coming in. Can version 1 clear?
This will be only the second best of this. Oh my god, I'm going to start a sentence again.
Go on, mate. Yeah, restart it. We've got time. We've got 20 seconds. 17 seconds.
This will be only the second game in the 3v3 that Team Liquid are going to take versus version 1. A sign of things to come, perhaps. A Chronic with another. No reset's going to be successful for him. Version 1, they drop 1, and we will be going to 1v1.
You really nailed that first time, mate. Well done. As Team Liquid nailed it first time in this series, winning game number 3, putting themselves en route to the 3 games that they need to survive in Gamers8 2023. But Stumpy, it's 1v1 time, mate.
It's 1v1 time.
It's 1v heckin' 1 time.
Should we take a little trip down memory lane?
Yeah, I'd love to.
All right, so firstly, we saw Atto versus Daniel in Game 4 of their first series in the upper bracket semi-final. That was won by Atto. That was 7-4. Since then, Liquid, they've played a couple of 1v1s. Atto's been taken down Cheese. That was 5-4 from Koi. He's also taken down KV1 6-3. So far, by the looks of things, I believe that Atto is unbeaten in 1v1s, which is quite exciting. Whereas for version 1, we have seen Daniel take down Tho very convincingly, 11-3.
Nice.
He then lost to Atto. Unfortunately for him, that was that 7-4 that we mentioned earlier. Then versus Rule 1, he got somewhat embarrassed. It was an 8-1 Roas versus Daniel. So different stories here. Theoretically, you're going to be looking at a pretty easy Atto win, surely.
That's the theory, but it's very different when there is the extra 45,000 bucks on the line, Stumpy. It changes everything. It changes everything when you're on the stage. It changes everything when it's knockout. There's enough here to equalize and level any skill disparity between these two. But Daniel, of course, a respected 1v1er in his own right, and he has done the brave thing, stepped forward yet again. And I just want to say, even if Daniel loses this one, which he may well, considering the kickoff has gone fully to Atto, it reminds me of, you know, a penalty shootout in in football, where even if you miss, even if you lose, he stood up to be countered.
Yes, exactly. Daniel is one of the best 1v1 players in the world at the moment. Currently ranked number 8. Guess he's number 7?
Chronic.
No, what a weird guess. It's
Okay.
obviously Atto.
Oh, right, that's why you're bringing it up, because he's
playing, yeah.
That makes perfect sense then. Cool, so not Chronic.
Oh, reset from Atto. Was a little bit bewildering towards Daniel. Didn't quite know when it was going to be coming in, but the reset found right below the ceiling. Wait, sees Daniel jump, goes sideways, flicks it over. It's 2 goals in just 11 seconds.
All right, I'm rooting for Daniel here to get going in this 1v1. I want it to be, I want game 5, I won't lie. Of course I do. I always want game 5 or game 7, but I don't want a smashing against poor little Daniel.
Daniel looking as one of the best players in the world like he can do is always going to be more exciting than a smashing. Do you know what Atto wants?
Smashing?
He wants a smashing.
Yeah,
do you know what
okay.
Oski wants out of interest?
Close game 5, but like maybe they just about lose, but all overtime. We tried to
No,
be
he
hard.
wants a smashing.
Oh, okay.
A Chronic, though,
Yeah.
smashing.
Ah.
Yeah. That X was a bit weird. He wants it to be close.
Okay, fair
I
enough.
don't quite get it.
Well, good to know. Let's see if that's going to happen. Daniel's at least after the first 15 seconds or so started to get himself into the game. He has some control of the ball and some boost. He flicks it over the top. Not quite on target, though. Good effort. And he'll be able to keep on going, recycling the pressure. But one clean challenge from Atto, and he should be able to get around this one to make it 3. Fist bump's coming in. He's looking extremely confident.
Yeah, 3 in the first minute. Daniel just letting that one go. A few chances, though, for Daniel, a little bit earlier on. But Atto's making sure that he controls the pace of this game as well. With version 1, with those 2 games, 1 on the side of that 3v3. And, of course, we're seeing that 2v2 then end up going their way as well. Com is going to have to sit this one out. And I wonder if Com also stares at Daniel's screen during this, just like he did in the 1v1, in the 2v2 rather.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he wants to get involved as much as possible, but I think he'll be desperate to play on. This is looking like it could get pretty ugly. Atto is defeating Daniel when he's taking the initiative, defeating Daniel when he's letting Daniel play. It does seem like Daniel is slipping away as a top 1v1er based on some of the results that we're seeing here, and Atto is very much emerging as somebody in that conversation.
I mean, Atto's been grinding.
Yeah.
Like, he has been up there being one of the most prolific 1v1 players in tournaments recently. That's a lovely 50 in favour of Daniel there. Only 50 boost and the demo. Atto fancies being me, fancies rolling around on the floor like a pig in mud.
No way.
Flicks it, but Daniel can get that clear away with only 0 boost. That will be wide off target. Dan, my man, that was a big open net.
That's tough. That's tricky. I mean, Atto was rushing him, I guess. Oh, no! Oh, Stumpy.
Look at Oski fist bumping Atto. Oski looked at Atto, just went, sue.
He sued.
He sued.
Did you see there was a little sue at the start of this match as well?
Yeah,
I think
when
it was
they were doing the
Atto.
walkout.
Gave like the smallest one. It was like a lazy sue.
When we were at Worlds and Liquid were playing, I loved seeing whenever they scored, whenever Atto scored, he did a little soo, and then Vitality, all their fans behind us, they went soo, and it was amazing. It's a word that transcends languages.
It does indeed. We saw Ronaldo play the other day, but sadly he didn't score. He got an assist, but he celebrated in the other corner.
There's
Go on,
one.
Daniel.
There's a goal.
5-1.
And Daniel made sure to keep that pressure on as well. With the reset, he gets it to an awkward save from Atto, and you don't always need your first reset to go in either. Make him pressured, push him down, and force him to give you an easy shot and an easy ball. And we're seeing in the crowd a couple of fans in favour of V1 here.
I don't know if that guy is a fan in favour of V1. He'll probably be hoping that Atto can just destroy his opponent and continue to do so. But Daniel ain't letting that happen.
Hook shot.
He gets it round, and he
That's
gets it in.
2.
Daniel is starting to wake up.
That is 2, and that's Daniel very intelligently getting into a great position, then hook-shotting it, bottom corner too. Anywhere else, Atto may well be able to save it, but in the end, he makes sure that he's able to get that second. Only 3 separating the 2. Now Atto, though, with a slow kickoff, and 1v1 is all about kickoffs.
Yeah, though, good recovery from Daniel. Gets the boost too. This could be 3, and if he does get the 3rd, suddenly this starts to get a little bit interesting. There's the demo. He loops around it. He gets the 3rd. Less than half the game gone. Only 2 goals in it.
It's happening. Atto did not have the wherewithal. Did not know that Daniel was gunning for him. It's now 3. This game looked like it was Atto's in the bag, and that is where his heart rate really increases, and Oski stops talking to him. Where then he's like, oh, actually, mate, you know what? You can concentrate here. It's not all about the sue.
Yeah, there'll be no suing after this one, unless he's suing his teammate for lack of prize money. You know, I was setting up for the same joke as you, Stumpy.
Yeah, but I'm funnier.
Oh, here's Daniel. That's a loose touch from him. Atto would love a free goal right now. Oh, no, but the touch ain't ideal.
And he shakes his head.
Daniel says, thank you very much. He's really starting to get into this one. Over the top, what are you going to do? This could be the fourth. He just wants to force it in. He ran out of boost, though, and rushed things.
Both on 0, but now Atto, he picks up the 100. He can get the next goal. He gets one more, makes it 6. And Daniel, I really loved his push. I loved seeing just how confident he wanted to be on that ball, because he knew that Atto would think he's going back corner. Instead, he comes in, tries to cut him off early as Atto goes to the commit. It doesn't happen. Unfortunately for him, that is going to be another 3 goals he has to chase in the final 2 minutes.
Atto is doing this delayed kickoff every time right now, and it seems to be working about 50% of the time. This one has well and truly been successful, though, as he goes to the goal line. How's his recovery? Can Daniel get this one in time? He wants to force some pace and power on the ball. Atto has got back. He's trying to hunt him out. You ain't going to get him like that, Daniel.
Very low.
Atto can get this one, though. He goes up, he goes high. This is how you do an edgeable bump. Just like that, 7-3.
4 goals now separating Atto and Daniel. A brilliant turnaround. You think you can do it, pal? I can just do it better. Sends him into the net. Scores both the ball and Daniel with that.
Yeah, I think Atto knew from the previous game that Daniel was going for that edgeable bump.
Yeah. 90 seconds remaining, and Atto, despite having a few little wobblies, he's then just going to want this possession, wants to take it back. And this is, oh my word, this is the frustrating part of a 1v1 for the opposition. Atto's literally just going corner to corner, going, nah, I've got the ball, you need the ball.
You're making out to be a...
Ha ha! I've got the ball! It's my ball! Daniel, it's my... You've scored. Daniel, why have you scored?
Right, well, that's what happens. Bullies never prosper, Stumpy, and he's been made to look silly, as has Atto. Look at it, it's an own goal, actually. Of all things, it's an own goal. And now, again, 3 goals in it. Give Daniel a kickoff goal, and suddenly things get interesting. Don't forget that Team Liquid, you know, they're trying to stay in this tournament. In this series, Daniel can score from here. Atto's there. Does he get the edgeable bump? Daniel not quite there. Atto defended it well.
Final minute ticking down. It's Liquid with that 3 goals. Atto just calls the bluff. Sees that Dan was going to be faking. Sends it as long as he needs to. And look, Dan had a good idea here. Fakes it out. He's just too far away. He can't body block it. He's not able to do anything from there. 8-4.
The bully prospered. In the end. And Daniel is, he's going to fight all the way to the finish line. And I respect him for that. Oh, but he should have got that one on target. That's a shame.
Damn.
That is a shame. That is a shame. Daniel, for the second 1v1 in a row at Gamers8 2023, concedes at least. Oh,
I'm going to be sick.
Oh, he's waving. He's waving.
I'm going to be sick.
He was waving.
Oh, my God. That is revolting.
That's just...
That... Oh.
I thought we agreed that bullies didn't prosper.
Oh, I need a paper bag.
No, you're fine.
That is unbelievable.
You know
the pogo fake on Daniel.
Yeah.
To get your 9th goal, that is confidence. That is supreme movement. And that is Atto in this series so far. A decisive win for the Liquid lad.
He hasn't won yet. Okay, now he's won.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the if he'd have scored in those 2 seconds, he might have had a chance. Oh, that sure was something. You don't always have to hit the ball, do you? 9-4.
9-4. Team Liquid, they bring it back to game number 5, and it will be settled in the classic game mode 3v3. So far, version 1 having the better by a good few series in that too.
We will go to a decider. Team Liquid on the cusp of reverse sweeping version 1. Now we've had the small matter of the opening 4 games out the way. It all comes down to this. Who will take the victory? Who will take the extra $45,000 as well? I mean, there's going to be a lot of highlights in this package. Also trying to do the hype stuff. Let's just, we were all waiting for 1 goal.
I love seeing Oski hyping up too.
Best hype man.
So some teammates, they want that. They want you to hype them up. Others, like Jorius, just wants to lock in.
Yeah.
He's just a guy. He denied a fist bump. He did not want it. He just wants to make sure that he is in. And this goal, the fake musty, literally faked the Riziz, the pogo into the musty, and then waves goodbye. That is filth. And now we find ourselves game 5. Cole, this is how it should end.
Is that live waving? Is that more waving, or is this a replay?
That was a Sue.
No, he waved first. He waved into the Sue. It's like the pogo into the musty. That was the wave into the Sue.
He waved into the Sue.
All right, we're going to have to... Yeah, exactly. We're going to have to bring ourselves back right now because that was, you know, that was a bit of a sideshow before we go to a very serious 3 versus 3 version 1. The NA super team put together. You know, so much was predicted of them. When they came together, it hasn't quite happened. But this is where they can start to make it happen. They can win this game and wave right back to Team Liquid.
Whoever wins this individual 3v3 goes through into the top 8 of Gamers8 2023. They earn themselves almost double the prize money. Neo Tokyo, who comes out the victor?
Beast Mode sends that one all the way to the left. Version 1 will be desperate to get themselves onto the ball as soon as they can. So will Daniel as well. And his favoured 3v3. This is where he can strut around the pitch just like Atto was in the 1 versus 1. As Com gets it down, here is Beast Mode. Yet to hear from Daniel in the opening 20 seconds or so, waiting for his moment. This is his moment to the ceiling with him. He'd love to get a flip reset, but Oski stops that happening.
Playing this 1v1s also keeps those players so warm. Com, bear in mind, wasn't watching fully, but he's not involved in that play whatsoever. Beast Mode sinks the first.
All that's come before is already forgotten. 32 seconds in to the deciding game in the series. It's pushed away. Version 1 get their lead.
Lovely pass down as well by Com. My bad, I thought that was Daniel passing it, but that was Com all day. He watched that 1v1, he's been learning by osmosis. Left-hand side now is going to have Daniel challenge versus Chronic. Chronic comes out the victor of it, gets the double, and large Oscar puts a bullet in the net.
One hit after the other, everyone from Team Liquid involved. There was Oski. That was a Chronic 2 Oski, and Oski got the finish. This is looking like a shootout in Game 5. It's what everyone wants to see. Goal after goal in the 3v3 as well. Let's hope we can keep it close all the way. There's a demo coming in. Who's going to be the one to make the most from it? Here is Daniel. How he'd love to get the comeback. Beast Mode comes in instead. He gets a double tap. Daniel puts it up. Is Com arriving? No, he's not. He wisely opted just to make sure they didn't overcommit. But in the end, it might backfire. Here's Oski above Daniel. Push to the side.
The first minute gone, it's been action, action, action. Oski Central only finds Beast Mode. Atto tries to bump him out of the way. It will go very well as Chronic gets control of the ball until Com comes in and bangs it back. Daniel on target. Daniel the manual. Second goal V1.
I love that after scoring that, Daniel didn't get involved in any silly playground tactics. He fist bumps his teammates, moves on, no waving from him.
And also Com bumped Oski, the man in the net wanting to save it away. Yet another team play, a demo early on. Com fakes out Atto with just such a simple deft touch.
Love that from Com as well, love the pass as well. Beast Mode tips it on its way. Com continues the job. Anyone else from version 1 there? It's going to be a clean touch from a Chronic, at least for now. Daniel's already up. A Chronic can keep an eye on Daniel and just make sure he bypasses him with his touch. Atto wants that ball but won't go for it. Com continues to be involved. The beating heart of version 1. Pushes that one to the side, only as far as Daniel, but this attack won't come to too much more.
Awkward defense yet again, Liquid. They're struggling to get that ball out of their own half as V1 swarm. One touch over the top. Com gets it not quite on target. Now it goes long from the hand of Liquid. Beast Mode 1 reset. Oski can block it away, but all these touches just seem to be going in favor of V1.
Oh, I thought for a second there was going to be somebody from V1 coming in. Com, does he have the pass? A Chronic, it's a desperate touch. It's a tired touch. The fatigue will be coming on. A huge day's Rocket League, whether they've been involved in series or not, just waiting around for this moment. No second chances now. Daniel, a couple of flip resets. He's going to get the second touch. Team Liquid tried to go for the early counter, but Beast Mode saw it coming and countered that.
And bear in mind, this is going to be Liquid's third best of 5 today, whereas it's only version 1's second. They've played a whole other series. That is taxing on you at this level especially. A shot on target ends up going low. It's wide, and a Chronic, unfortunately, shooting just too far away from that net with only a single defender.
Beast Mode puts that one to the ceiling. He follows it up as well. A Chronic should be able to get a clean touch here. Com, what can he do? He has the boost to play with it. His team not so much. A little bit starved at the moment, but they're able to come away with the ball. Beast Mode now does have boost up against Atto. Team Liquid pushing for that equalizing goal. They have to get it or they are out of Gamers8 2023. Version 1 will continue to the playoffs to go up against Oxygen. Atto, he gets the next touch. Com coming in around the corner. Oski should be able to get this one, and Team Liquid struggling to put something together.
Oski with only 40 boost has to pass it off to a teammate instead he gets bumped away from it. Beast Mode on that backboard with 100 boost. The only player on his team to have so at the time. Daniel now up high in the center, only 30. Cannot get too much of a touch. Falls back down towards Beast Mode, and Atto with a huge jump manages to keep it just away from flying into the net. Atto tries to come out of the way, flicked over the top of him. Atto now follows it round towards the right-hand side. Daniel up, can get that touch, and this halfway line is owned by V1.
Yeah, but these 3v3s, the ones they've been having, have all been so close. One-goal games all over the place. Overtimes maybe as well. Is one looming in front of us, or can Version 1 take the series at the earliest opportunity in Game 5? A Chronic, he's up and pushes it to the side. Oski was waiting. Team Liquid still trying these transitions. Atto still in front of the play, going for the bumps and demos. There's just so much space in front of Team Liquid, they can't go into it.
Oski now wants to get just past that halfway line. The DMZ unable to do so. And now only Com is the man to that ball with only one boost, so he can't get it too far. B-Man has to help him on, and 0 boost again.
45 seconds, Team Liquid surging and pushing for an equalizer, but it's looking less and less likely. When was the last time they had a clear-cut chance? You can almost sense a counter-attack from Version 1 incoming.
One demo coming in though, and one bumper. Chronic tries to clear Daniel away from that ball. 30 seconds ticks down. Atto, central, wants to hand it off to one. Nobody's there though, Beast Mode there to save.
A Chronic can't get that ball either. Beast Mode takes it away from him. Oski's touch is only as far as Daniel. A Chronic has to not get in Atto's way. It's not going to happen.
Final 15, Com on for another shot. A Chronic on target, but Daniel strikes it away.
10 seconds, Team Liquid go out. Version 1 remain alive. There's a smoke screen, but it's not gone in. I thought it might have done. This ball has to roll.
It rolls up very well for Liquid. Atto is going to go high with it. Daniel's going to be countering it away. A Chronic into the corner. That's going to drop. That is going to be a Version 1 victory.
And who better to get the final say of the series than Daniel, the man who's had the criticism leveled against him, who's had to be embarrassed in 1v1s, shows his true home is in the 3v3 arena. What comes before no longer matters. Version 1 have knocked out Team Liquid.
And they shut down that reverse sweep that was on the way. They won the first two, lost the second two, and the third in the 3v3 rather, just comes down to a single goal. What a push from Version 1. A disappointing RLCS year may well be cherried on top by a good playoff performance from them.
And what a turnaround in particular from Daniel.
Incredible.
The mentality to come back when all eyes are on you. It's a unique feeling, even to these players who are used to so much pressure. That just hits different. And look at them right there, the champion.